Millions of Americans are gearing up to evaluate their health plan options this fall during the annual open enrollment season. Alarmingly, over half of millennials, now the largest group in the workforce, admit they don't understand their benefit selections. And among Medicare beneficiaries, approximately 70% say they had not compared coverage options during open enrollment. But never fear, help is on the way. UnitedHealthcare's Carmen Cooper joins me with some helpful tips now. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so obviously for a lot of people, like we just said, there's some confusion around this. So how do we bridge the gaps?
So there's some great websites out there to help kind of make that all make sense. So justplainclear.com is a great place to get a glossary of all of the acronyms and words you'll hear. If you're on Medicare, Medicare Made Clear is another great website to start at.
Oh my gosh, okay, who knew that? There's a couple, options right there off the bat. And explain what open enrollment is.
Okay, so the time of year where we transition from iced coffee to hot coffee,
yes,
we
right
bring
now.
out the booths,
Yes.
is also open enrollment season. So it's also the time where you can evaluate your different options for health insurance, whether it's adding or changing or dropping coverage for you or your dependents. It's the time to make those decisions now.
And if you're kind of, I guess, like me, I'm embarrassed to say, where you think, oh, okay, I'll just leave everything the way it was last year. You're still saying, no, go in and actually look at your benefits and see what has changed.
Absolutely, because what's worked for you this past year isn't necessarily what's going to work for you in the coming year. Maybe you're getting a knee surgery or having a baby. You have to think about those things in terms of what's going to happen, because it all starts on January 1, 2025.
And so is that when people can purchase health insurance or?
Great question.
Okay.
So open enrollment season is different based on where you're getting your coverage. So for employer-sponsored coverage, generally there's about a 2-week period of time, anywhere from now to the holidays, where you get to make those decisions. So employer-sponsored coverage, check with your employer.
Okay.
Medicare is October 15th through December 7th. So that's really where you go onto the Medicare site, check it out, make those decisions, make sure those coverage options are going to work for you in the coming year.
I love that. Okay, and because of all of these choices, like we talked about, it can be pretty confusing for people, myself included. Do you have any tips for people that are debating what plan to start with?
Absolutely. So the first thing to think about is really planning ahead. So whether it's,
again, get organized.
Yes, get organized. The coverage for the coming year, what's going to happen, what do you need to plan for, and also, are your doctors in network? So that's the first thing. Second thing I would say is make sure you embrace the digital world, right? There's always an app for that. And through that app, you can access all kinds of resources, like mental health resources. We have a lot of virtual visits where you can video chat with a doctor, oftentimes at no cost to you. And then wellness things. So frequently, you can actually be incentivized just for doing stuff you do already, like your steps, tracking your steps or tracking your sleep. And the last thing I'd say that's really big is take a whole health picture, right? Oral health is part of your total health. If there are dental and vision options, now's the time to look at those too.
Oh my gosh, this is all such great advice. And you also had a point in here to talk about specialty benefits. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so that's that dental and vision side of the house,
okay,
right?
okay.
So life insurance, it's always important. We don't want to think about it. Check your beneficiaries, right? But make sure that you have that dental coverage. So when you go and get those cleanings, which you should always do.
I am a Crest kid, I'll have you know. I've had one cavity in my life.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and so for people that are confused through this process, is there anything else that you just really want the takeaway to be, that if you plan ahead, it's going to be okay?
Yeah, so if you have questions, if you want to learn more, uhcopenenrollment.com is a great place to start, and you can really choose your adventure from there.
You are making this so fun, a topic that I feel like for some people can be a little overwhelming. So again, hit them with, the dates that they need to know for their employers and when Medicare, like you mentioned, with the different dates.
Absolutely. So if it's an employer-sponsored coverage, check with your employer. Generally, there's about a 2-week period of time between now and the holidays. And then Medicare, it's October 15th through December 7th to really look at those options.
Amazing. Thank you so much
Thank you for
all of your
having me.
tips. This was amazing. And you can visit uhcopenenrollment.com. You'll see that right there now on your screen. You'll find lots of tips, resources, and information on plans in your area.
This portion of New Day Northwest is sponsored by UnitedHealthcare.